Things Not Taught Tutoring. This is Mr. Tanner again. Welcome to a 3-4. Now, this is going to go beyond. I've taught you the skills of really note-taking and reading and listening during lectures. I talked about your exam prep and learning and doing those things, and I can go much deeper into all of those. But one of the things I want to help you with, help you understand, is I don't want you to stop learning at what is just required. Okay, I want you to start thinking further down the line, thinking deeper into subject matter. I told you this is the time of your life. Hopefully you're taking classes that interest you. Now, get beyond the core. I can't tell you, hopefully your electives really interest you. But with the core, I want you to understand that learning is not simple memorization of facts. Okay, that's a very lowest level of learning, to learn a word and its vocabulary. That's hopefully not what you're limiting yourself to. I want you to push yourself into a deeper understanding, a deeper set of learning, so that you start challenging yourself with what you're trying to grasp. You want a deeper understanding of the subject matter. I don't care what it is. The teacher would love to go deeper with you, I promise, and to share things that make connections maybe you haven't made. And a lot of that is a discussion with the teacher or a discussion with the students around you who also show an interest. But I think you need to understand that there's two sets of learning objectives you have to have. Number one is, believe it or not, yes, just like I said, is the rote memorization. Okay, and that term means you're simply learning the language in many cases of the subject matter and the simple facts of the subject matter. Okay, that's where you have your cards and you're like the word rhino, and you flip it over and it says a large animal often found in Africa. It has a horn on its nose and all those things. All right. Okay, I memorized it. I know what a rhino is. That's great. But to truly be successful, let's say we're learning about the rhinos. I want you to understand maybe why in history or science, let's use science as our example, they're teaching us about rhinos. All right, I know a rhino. I've memorized that. Give me a test. Well, you're going to get it right. It's a large animal with a horn on its nose. That's not the trouble. Now, the learning occurs when you really start getting into a rhino. Where exactly are they located? How many are there on the earth? Are there more than one types of rhinos? Are there people that hunt them? What are some uses for rhino? This and that. What's the value of rhino on the face of the earth? When you start pushing to those questions, your brain starts to rewire itself in a manner that allows you to have a deeper understanding of subject matter. And that's what most teachers want you to get to. Like I said, sometimes the test itself was simple. I got it. I memorized this. All right. You want to push deeper into subject matter, and then all of a sudden you find out the rhinos are simply a subset of mammals that are currently endangered. And then to even go deeper, you can look at, well, how do we save the rhinos? If we got to save the rhinos, what's the value of saving the rhinos? And you start going into levels of understanding, right? And then all of a sudden rhinos leads into a different animal that may be an endangered species. Well, now you're making connections. You're making connections with things, with ideas, with processes, with application of, well, if rhinos are so important, what other animals are important? And that's what a teacher wants to see you get to, that you're making connections. Now, if you really want to impress a teacher, make a connection with something that they didn't think of, right? And it's hard to say that. Find something that will cause them to go, oh, you know what? That's a good point. Let's see how that works. Anyway, this is a short lesson. What I want you to do is I want you to understand the cues. associated with you getting an idea. And those cues are really predicated with, I'm very solid with understanding what's being taught. Now let's push it to that next level thinking and figure out how it applies in different ways. One good trick in understanding, if you want a trick that will tell you you understand the subject matter, teach someone else. Someone struggling at your table. Here, let me explain that to you real quick. Does that make sense? And you can do it without being a know-it-all. You can do it without kind of, maybe getting a label on your head. Oh, you're the guy in class or the girl in class that knows everything. No, you can do that and be helpful to others. Remember, people just want to be helpers, right? So take advantage of that. If you can actually teach what you're learning, tutor, help people, then you've learned it even better than they have. So hope that helps, and we'll see you in, I guess we're in section 4.